Hello, everyone. So since this is about innovation in online education, I thought it would be helpful to note where we are standing right now. And I would like to share with you the results of surveys we conducted this summer here at TU Berlin. Next slide, please. So TU Berlin is one of the traditional and large technical universities in Germany with 35,000 students, 140 degree programs, mainly in the areas of science and engineering, with 8,000 staff, including 2,000 student employees and organized in 7 faculties. Next slide. Next slide, please. With regard to online education, we are teaching mainly on campus, of course. We do have only a few programs with a blended concept, which means some parts present, some parts online. And of course, there are some colleagues of ours that are using the inverted classroom concept, but I would say this is less than 10% of our classes. However, we do have a strong group supporting all people that want to change from presence teaching to online teaching. And we do have, of course, a central learning platform based on Moodle, and are currently introducing a new student lifecycle management system, which also helps a little bit in this area. Next slide, please. So in March 2020, when Corona hit Germany, we were very quick in preparation for a lockdown and online teaching, and came up very early and strong with recommendations not even think about trying to streaming from the lecture halls, but recommendation for asynchronous format. So since our professors also had to work from the home office, we provided them with tablets, cameras, microphones, and headset to make them ready to prepare their video lectures for upload on the learning platform and download by the students. We also extended our server capacities, cloud space, internet bandwidth, and installed video conference tools, and our online training group prepared webinars, handouts, guidelines, and so on. We also provided notebooks and internet access boxes to lend for students who are in need. This all went well. In total, we used 1.5 million in investments for all these things. Then within 4 weeks, all these devices we purchased were delivered to the professors in their home office, and they first familiarized with the recording tools and video conference systems, because most of them were unfamiliar with this. And they started producing videos for the first weeks of teaching, and designed and implemented in this short time new online concepts for Q&A sessions, assignments, consultation, group work, quizzes, online tests, and things like that. So after 2 weeks, after the lecture started, we had 6,000 videos uploaded with 450,000 accesses, and every week 6,000 video conferences took place. Next slide, please. But this is only, these numbers seem to show some success, but of course we wanted to look more closely about the success of these Corona summer semester. And we did in July a survey with the instructors. So we addressed roughly 3,000 people of TU Berlin, all involved in teaching. So not only professors, but also teaching and research assistants and student tutors. And 25% responded. And here you see the distribution. So the professors had only a share of roughly 20% of these responders. Next slide, please. The first question we asked, how well was your home working condition? and roughly 50% said that was okay, but also a significant part of them was unsatisfied and used private money to complement what was missing. Next slide. We also wanted to know what additional effort they had to put in preparing or lecturing. And because we knew that most of the people had to start from scratch with online teaching. And as we expected, most of them had a significant higher effort. So 44% responded that the additional effort was 50% higher than normal, and almost 50% said it was even 51 to 100% or even more than 100% higher as with regular on-site, on-campus teaching. Also, the work shifted outside the regular office hours. So if you are at home and have kids to attend and things like that, more work was done at weekends, in nighttime, at evenings. So there was some shift in the way they organized their work at home. Next slide, please. We were also interested in what tools were actually used by the teachers that we offered. And it was very clear and expected that our ISIS learning platform, which is our name for our Moodle system, would be the linchpin of all this online education. And this was actually the case. But what I did not expect, that email played such a high role for the communication between teachers and students. We also see from the slides that the video recording recommendation was followed by roughly 60% of our teachers, and almost 70% had accompanying video conferences for Q&A and for seminar type courses. Some, at least roughly 50%, also enabled group work either asynchronously or synchronously. Some also used voting systems and quiz tools, but only few used the online system for doing the exams. So roughly 90% of our teachers did the exams in a traditional way, in presence in large lecture halls. Next slide, please. We also wanted to know how satisfied our teachers were with the way they implemented this summer semester. So with regard to the technical challenges, 68% said they could fully implement what they intended to do. With regard to the didactic considerations, only 50% that they were satisfied with the results. So all in all, 15% completely satisfied, 11% completely dissatisfied with what they achieved. We also learned that in the synchronous teaching, so in the video conferences, frequency and quality of communication continuously decreased over the semester. So the students started to switch off their cameras and also didn't use the audio channel, but rather the chat function, which is very difficult for the teachers to deal with. In asynchronous teaching formats, the frequency of communication increased because there were questions being asked, usually by email, and 61 of the instructors said it was much more difficult to assess the learning progress of the students in this online semester. Next slide, please. So Also interesting to learn is that it did have an impact on the personal attitude of our teachers towards online teaching. So 26% said that they are now significantly more positive about online teaching. Roughly 50% said it remained as it was before. And we also have a small but strong group of people who don't like online teaching at all. You also see it at the right-hand side, 5%. When asked about what is your preference for teaching in the winter semester, the question was asked in July, 5% said only in presence, and 9% said only online teaching. And the rest of 85% was more or less looking forward to a blended format consisting of partly presence teaching and partly online teaching. We also wanted to know, next slide please, what the students think. We have currently another survey going on, but we used our regular course evaluations also to get some insight about the summer semester, and also asked about the usage of tools. And not surprisingly, the Moodle platform was the linchpin for online education, and almost 70% really followed the recommendation of producing videos for download, so using this asynchronous format and accompanying video conferences during the week for question and answers. Next slide. We also asked about other tools that were used that were not recommended centrally from our side. And there was a big number of different tools that our teachers used because they knew it. So Miro or Labster for laboratory courses. And one big problem, you see it in the word cloud, was document sharing. And now for the winter semester, we are providing more tools and better tools to support the students in working sharingly on documents. Next slide, please. So the students were more or less satisfied. So they evaluated online teaching as good. It was important that the quality of supervision during the weeks and also the instructional material was important, because only 33% responded that all material was available completely online. What was also a major issue is working in groups. So as we learned previously, some of the teachers, 40%, organized group work within their course concept. And when this was not available, students organized their groups privately. But it's obviously a key factor for success in learning that you can work together as students. So 68% stated that the course they were evaluating should continue to be offered online. So this is a remarkable statement. Next slide and final slide. So what we learned and what I want to share with you, that the attitude of teachers towards online teaching has shifted in favor of more online education. So this semester really gave us a push. It is also clear for me, at least, that the replacement of frontal one-way lectures by video recordings is expected to prevail also in future. So that the inverted classroom will turn out to be a new standard. Group work is essential, and if online, should be supported by better tools, because currently they are really suffering. And I also expect, talking to the teachers, that the synchronous formats, the video meetings, will likely return to face-to-face meetings once this will be possible again. A general problem where the lab courses with hands-on training, which is difficult to adequately implement online. Some people try it, but with limited access. And I also expect that we will have more electronic exams, but we did have problems with online exams, which means online exams that you can do from at home, because we are, at least in Germany, facing problems to unresolved conflicts between privacy laws and examination regulations. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope this information was of some help for you, and I wish you all a very successful, creative and innovative event for the next 2 days. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.